Blog Talk Radio.
Once again, not like we went very far. Finally had an opportunity to jump in this morning with Luca and Zim and Rose, and yeah, it was fun. Did manage to get a couple of hours, so well, I don't even know if I got that much, but it doesn't matter. Welcome to Legal Name Fraud Radio. Yours truly, me, starring you. Funny how that works. Where to begin? Let me see. Yeah, just shit's coming down everywhere. And I can't even... I'm still running that same gauntlet from yesterday. It's just crazy fun. Yeah, this is a good example of... Thanks, Kiki, beautiful. Closed discussion, or discussed ion, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, we're closed for discussion. Apparently the government of Canada is effectively shut down. Well, yeah, the Harpy is trying to ram through... Oh, funny that, the Will I Am C51. See, that's the 5150 part. Look it up. Google 5150, see what you get. Yeah, that's a neat thing. But anyway, it's become apparent that the so-called Canadian government has shut... it's shut down all right. Delight. Yeah, what a delight it was to visit Enoch in a different frame of mind, you know. Reads a whole lot different now than it's ever read, you know. That's the best part about it. Yeah, thanks, Nina. That was a fun little quote, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Speaking of slugs, yeah, for the first slug in line, it's funny how there's an invasion of 6-inch cannibal slugs heading to Cornwall. Cornwall? Cornway L? Cornhole? Yeah, there you go. It's all good. Yeah, nice one, Pat. Following Cameron? Well, apparently. Because David Cameron in Cornwall because of pole dark effect. Yeah, the dark pole effect. Yeah, this thing is just crumbling in and around them. It's fun to watch, actually. Yeah, the phonics are just going off the grid right now. Where was the... Yeah, this... excuse me. When you're paying attention to sound, not so much the spell, and just start... Well, you become a resounding success. Just resound it. You'll see what I mean. And don't worry. It gets pretty funny, and you'll be saying "nah" a lot. Okay, you'd be like that in the early days, and then hey, look, you can trust yourself for a change. That's a wonderful thing, and things start to make sense. Well, hello, Dolly. Hello, Dolly. Enoch 10, verse 18. I was going to do a little visit through Enoch. For those. I haven't done much of that. Quoted a few things here and there, but never really got into any depth of consciousness knocking on the door. Enoch, you know. Yeah. Here it is. Enoch 10, verse 18. Destroy all the souls addicted to dalliance. Doll-I-ence. You know, doll I mind, the paper I doll, yeah, the dollians, yeah, addicted to legal name fraud, the doll I. It shows the spring of the watchers, for they have tyrannized, ears and levels, eras and rip, tyrannized. Facebook page if you want to go and have a Kate.Renee.5. This is a post I put up earlier. And again, I can't even begin to put down what's coming together. I'll just put as many relevant dots as I see relevant to at least show you the thread. Anyway, dalliance or lust. Doll-I-ence, that's lust. You know, that's 7 deadly sins. Worshipping of something outside of yourself is lust. Okay? Being in the experience, well, it is what it is. All right? For the sake and purpose of experience only. Look around. Look around in your own mirrors. You'll see it for yourself. The idolians. You've heard the expression to dilly-dally? Yeah, the dilly-dally. Yeah, Dalai Lama. The Lama Dalai. Push me, pull you, not something Tibetan, right? it really isn't something Tibetan. I wouldn't be betting on that one. And then, of course, medallion. I decided to look up ALLI, and just to see what would come up. And there it was, medallion, the only word that came up, the metal lion. Look up medallion, dictionary.com. 1650s. From narrated again is, you see the 156 in there, 15 June, right? So 1650s from French medallion, 17th century. From Italian mediglione, large metal. Yeah. Love that DT, you know. Yeah, the DT is a delirium tremors, something an alcoholic suffers from. Where was it? Augmentative of medaglia, see metal. And of course, medallions. Medallions, pluralize it, and you have the magnetic electric dalliance, the dalliance, the magnetic electric dalli mind. Something they give war murderers, medallions. The real 9/11, November 11th, worshiping the dead. And of course, when you start playing around with sound, you start seeing other things like metal lions, you know, those that lie, made of metal, right? Brazen bull, if you will. Metal law lines. Again, these are all Phoenician expansions, exploding the words. There's that applause thing again, right? Metal, to, you know, mess with. Law, well, literal. Lines, you know, blurring the lines, if you will. Medallions, met all dark lights, false lights. Meet all yins, meat sticks, false light. Watchers. That's the Delhi, the Delhi Dolliers. The Dilly Dalliers. That's where that came from. Yeah. Dilly Dallies, the Doll Liars. Delhi, New Delhi, East India, connecting it all back. The Himalayan around, I guess. Delhi Doll Liars, Dilly Dallies. That's the quick step here. The doctors of do little and take all parasites. Yeah, the doctors do little, take all parasites. Hic et nunc, look up hic et nunc at dictionary.com. Latin, literally meaning here and now, from demonstrative pronominal adjective of place, hic, like hic, H-I-C, means here, to be here. Nunc, plus nunc is here and now. So there's that hiccup thing, right? Yeah, it's time to be now up, right? And of course it led to quid nunc. This was all on the same page, by the way. Quid nunc. Look up quid nunc. Gossip monger. Of course, what is a quid? For those in the UK, quid is selling England by the pound of flesh. A pound. You know, 5 quid note, 10 quid note kind of thing, right? And again, when you understand what the gossip monger is and what the money is, the rumor of the dolly, right, the idol, quid nunc is a gossip monger. 1709, formed from Latin quid, meaning what? The question of what? Of course, it is the verb of what, the electrical power, contained within the same sound. You have the uwat and duwat realities. Google duat, D-U-A-T. See what you get. This is old stuff, but I like bringing it all back. It's the neuter of interrogative pronoun quiz or key, meaning who. Taking a quiz, are we? Yeah. Little quizling, are you? Yes. See who and nunc now, see now, to describe someone forever asking, what's the news? Right? Oh yeah, we'll tell you what the new is. Well, it depends if you're a wildebeest or remembering something. Then it becomes brand new again. This stuff just flows into itself. It's beautiful. And of course, now, adverb, Old English new, N-U. There's that infinite intent of you, N-U. U-N, U-N, you infinite, N-U, nu, are you in the now? Shows up really nicely in Scottish accents. What you doing in the new, right? Kind of thing. These clues are everywhere. So new, now, at present, immediately, now that. Okay, so it's just going on to talk about now, as per. See, for me, time is just continuous moments of now in the illusion of time, all being now anyway. Where was it? Yeah, the S-quid, the squid love their ink quids, lick quids, lie quids, right? A bit of a Quidditch game, if you ask me. Man of Clay sounds like a Harry Potter to me. Yeah, more tonight. So these are the kind of things that when you're just in the now, moving with the now, when your mind is open, all of this just pours in rapid fashion. And much of the stuff that pours in I can't even talk about because it's just too much. It's good. I'm not complaining. I just wish I could explain it clearer and easier, but that's just the way it is. Anyway, a little bit of the Book of Enoch for fun. Yeah, these are all telling you the same story. It's all right now, by the way. Just don't get caught in the illusion of time frames. This is a simple game. It's to sort out the garbage. That's it, with evil intent. You know, there are those that have done, quote, evil, unquote, but it wasn't their intention, okay? That's the corrupting of the innocent. And that's the crime they're guilty of, corrupting the innocent. Yeah, if you get an opportunity, this is a great layout of Enoch. You can find it on messenger.com/1Enoch. Just do that. Here, let me just pop that into the Facebook links there. And then I'll pop this over to group. Yeah, I was a little trepidatious about opening up the Skype. Oh yeah, it's at least in the right place. I don't have to move around. It gets really hiccupy. Okay, so it's on Skype. Yeah, the Book of Enoch, chapters 1 to 60. Certainly not going to read all of it, but hey. We'll touch on a few things of interest. Whatever we touch on will be of interest. Watch. Yeah, we'll just do a quick opening with chapter 1 and give you a feel of what Enoch's about. Again, these are all the same stories about, you know, heaven's knocking on your door. That's consciousness knocking. So this is the story of you. It really is. It's kind of cool when you see it. So Enoch 1:1 goes, the word of the blessing of Enoch, how he blessed the elect and the righteous, who were to exist in the time of trouble, rejecting all the wicked and ungodly. Enoch, a righteous man who was one with God, truth, answered and spoke while his eyes were open, and while he saw a holy vision in the heavens. This the angels showed me. Moving on here, 2. From them I heard all things and understood what I saw, that which will not take place in this generation, but in a generation which is to succeed at a distant period on account of the elect. Remember, this is going back a few thousand years, yes? Okay. It's been a few generations since this construct has been set up. Upon their account I spoke and conversed with him who will go forth from his habitation, the Holy and Mighty One, the God of the world, the truth of the world. That's each and every one of you. Who will hereafter tread upon Mount Sinai. Nice click there, eh? Yeah, that's what I thought too. Who will hereafter tread upon Mount Sinai, appear with his hosts, and be manifested in the strength of his power from heaven. Yeah, we do the Jane Doe -755 connection to Mount Sinai Hospital. Yeah, okay. Again, these fractals play out in your walking experience. You just have to spot them. Upon their account I spoke and conversed with him who will go forth from his habitation, the Holy and Mighty One, the God of the world, the truth of the world, who will hereafter tread upon Mount Sinai, appear with his hosts, and be manifested in the strength of his power from heaven. 5. All shall be afraid, and the watchers be terrified. True story. It's a true story. The watchers are terrified. Great fear and trembling shall seize them, even to the ends of the earth. The lofty mountains shall be troubled, and the exalted hills depressed, melting like a honeycomb in the flame. The earth shall be immerged, and all things which are in it perish, while judgment shall come upon all, even upon the righteous. Even upon all the righteous. But to them he shall give peace, he shall preserve the elect, and towards them exercise clemency. Then shall all belong to God, truth. Be happy and blessed, and the splendor of the Godhead shall illuminate them. Truth shall illuminate you. Again, you got to walk the two worlds here, see things both from the physical and spiritual reality at the same time. You've got to separate yourself from the physical, yet still be a part of it to see it. Where was it? But to them shall he give peace. He shall preserve the elect, and towards them exercise clemency. Those that are in and have been of Babylon and turned around. Okay? You got a job to do. It's kind of an understood. Anyway, then shall all belong to truth, be happy and blessed, and the splendor of the truth shall illuminate you. Behold, he comes, this is chapter 2, one verse. Behold, he comes with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment upon them and destroy the wicked, and reprove all the carnal for everything which sinful and ungodly have done and committed against him, against truth itself. Have a look up. Igor just posted a little video, by the way. It has some snapshots of the night I was watching, where you can see... it's literally the 8-ball in the corner pocket. We're just lining up for the shot. That's it. You can go back to the Interstate 60. Once you start seeing the real magic of what's going on, you know the end is close. You just know it. There's no way to put it. What, when, who knows? We can speculate, do whatever. I'm just I'll do my thing as long as I have to do it. Chapter 3. 1. All who are in the heavens know what is transacted there. The all-seeing eye, watching everything. Are you the beacon or the beagle? You know. And this is why you know in your own heart. You self-correct yourself on these things. Trip up here and there, big deal. Move through it. Okay? We've beat ourselves up enough. There are all very, very many dragons to tame. And if you're just starting out, we can give you some shortcuts to it. But you got to get over yourself real quick. That's the big internal breath that says, okay, to yourself. Okay. Where to from here? And you keep doing that. Where to from here? Find the truth that you need to find. Move through it. Only in the contrast will you find the truth. So, chapter 3, verse 2. They know that the heavenly luminaries change not their paths, that each rises and sets regularly, every one in its proper period, without transgressing the commands which they have received. They behold the earth and understand what is there transacted from the beginning to the end of it. It's an alpha omega play out. They see that every work of God is invariable, every work of truth is invariable in the period of its appearance. That's what is invariable is something that is the same. over and over again. And when you understand phonics, you see that this is beautifully put. They see that every work of truth is invariable. It never changes in the period of its appearance. While it looks like it's morphing, it's not. It's truth is a singularity in that it folds in and out of itself. Hard to describe this. I'll just keep doing my best. They see every work of God as invariable in the period of its appearance. They behold summer and winter. That's black and white. That's what that's saying. They behold summer and winter. They see the black and white, perceiving that the whole earth is full of water. Truth. The whole heart is full of truth, and that the cloud, the dew, and the rains refresh it. Now we can get fine on that and silence the D, and you have clue, which is nail or clue to find your way home. What you need to do, D-O, pay your D-U-E-S's in terms of turning around and getting back. And that's where the true reign is, the Ra in the spirit breath of the Christ mind within infinite. Reign. On, Chapter 4. A whole verse again. And chapter 5. Chapter 4 and 5 have one verse each. So here's 4. They consider and behold every tree, how it appears to wither, and every leaf to fall off, except of 14 trees which are not deciduous, which wait from the old to the appearance of the new leaf book for 2 or 3 winters. Yeah, that's that 3 years, 3 days in a tomb thing coming up again. And they're not decide you us, deciduous. They're not hardwoods. These are easy woods, soft woods. Pine, spruce it up a little. Pining for home, are we? Coniferous. Luciferous. That's the intent of creation. D of kill. Not kill. Kill. When you see the 4 aspects, it's 2, 4. Shit. See, my back. I'm afraid to look. Okay. Thumbs up, somebody, if you can hear me. Okay. So I want to do the 2-4 aspect of how to see the double cross. This is an easy way to see it. Take. There's one word with 2 syllables, so there's your 2. Okay, good stuff. Thanks, guys. So you have D side 2. So let's make 4 out of it. So that means there's going to be an equal and opposite meaning for D or de, French for of, or D to undo, as a prefix in English. Same, spelled the same. You change the sound of it, and that's where you're going to see the true definitions of it. And it won't mean what you thought it meant literally anymore. You'll see its mirror. So there's 2 definitions for it. The letters D-E, French, de, meaning of, and D in the English prefix meaning to undo. Let's go to side. In the literal sense of spelling the word, C-I-D-E, we can see to kill, genocide, homicide, okay? And of course, with the S sound, you put the S in there, so it's now S-I-D-E, as in to choose a side or not. So there's the sound de or D and side. 2 syllables, 4 faces. There's your dice. Roll that. You'll see what happens there is you see it's equal and opposite, and the path is laid clear for you. So hopefully that's a better way to explain that little trinket of love. Oops. Yeah, let's get these mics open here. Get you guys in case I bump out again. Okay. Where else? Yeah. So, I mean, I can carry on with this. I would highly recommend take a few minutes and read through it. You'll be fascinated to see what you know, because you're going to be seeing this with completely different eyes. Oh, lots of noise in the background, guys. All right. Okay. Let me see. Okay, yeah, you're going to have to mute on your end, sit serve, because a lot of banging and noise and stuff. It just gets... when I'm walking these trails, they're very easy to go snip, and I'm off them. So just get back in the groove here. Great chat last night, Roar.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we had a bit of fun with Beetlejuice, yes?
Yeah, and CPU.
Yeah,
and plastic
CPU.
cups.
Yeah, plastic cups. What's your cup size? Yeah. It's just so funny.
I did see the Mount Sinai click. Read this earlier. I think D-Light had posted it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Awesome. Yeah.
And it goes on and on. Let me see. Yeah, here, chapter 5. Might as well do the whole chapter. It's only one verse. Anyway. Again, they consider the days of summer, that the sun is upon it at its very beginning, while you seek for a covered and shady spot on account of the burning sun. Yeah, no escaping this one. While the earth is scorched up, the heart is scorched up with the fervid heat. Yeah, it fires you up. And you become incapable of walking either upon the ground or upon the rocks in consequence of that heat. You won't backstep into a lie. Slightly different interpretation, eh? And it's not really interpretation. It's a phonetic definition. It's what it's saying literally. You just got to put.
It's bringing it into the now so that it makes sense.
So you can see it.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, just. Yeah, let's do 6 just for fun. Yeah, I have fun doing these. They're very, very enlightening, aren't they? Anyway,
yeah.
6 verse 1. They consider how the trees, when they put forth their green leaves, become covered and produce fruit, understanding everything and knowing that he who lives forever does all these things for you. It's a Garden of Eden thing. It's pretty cool. 2, that the works at the beginning of every existing year, that all his works are subservient to him and invariable. Yet as God, truth, has appointed, so are all things brought to pass. Yeah, let it go and let it flow. They see, too, how the seas and rivers together complete their respective operations. That's brine. Remember we talked about the salt water, fresh water, the mirror that exists between them, the oil water, very delicate balance. Yeah. You too see this, don't you? How the seas and the rivers together complete their respective operations. Yeah, they mirror each other. That's the ether or plasma and water hemoglobins. Hemoglobins. Yeah, globins. See? Globe in. Yeah, I know. Anyway, that's the oil and water and that space between them. There is space between oil and water. It's an energy. That's where you walk. It's called truth. But you endure not patiently, nor fulfill the commandments of the Lord, but you transgress and calumniate his greatness, and malignant are the words in your polluted mouths against his majesty. Yeah, this is where he starts getting nasty with the demons. You withered in heart, no peace shall be to you. Oh, exclamation mark, so it must be a bitch rant right about there. Therefore your days shall you curse, and the years of your lives shall perish. Perpetual execration, like that one. Lust shall be multiplied, and you shall not obtain mercy. In those days shall you resign your peace with the eternal maledictions, of all the righteous and sinners shall perpetually execrate you. Execrates. What's the word I'm looking for here? Curse. That's the word, not lust. Well, curse. Yeah. That's all good. Execrate means to curse. In those days shall you resign your peace with the eternal maledictions, of all the righteous and sinners shall perpetually execrate you. That's you, where you're pushing it all away, and boy, oh boy, people love to curse you, don't they? Shall execrate you with the ungodly. There was a song I started writing. Funny who it was about too. Don't point. I never finished the song because I'd said enough in the first verse or two. That's all I need. Anyway, don't point your finger with a dirty hand. Pretty simple. Yeah, they shall execrate you with the ungodly. The elect shall possess light, joy, and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. That's the heart within is the earth you inherit. But you unholy, shall be accursed. You see, I see execrate, and I see extricate, extract, extraction. Oh, yeah. It's kind of a watered-down extract, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought, too. But you unholy, shall be accursed. Then shall wisdom be given to the elect, all of whom shall live, and not again transgress by impiety or pride, but shall humble themselves, possessing prudence, and shall not repeat transgression. Yeah, pick it up, move on. No repeats. 12. They shall not be condemned the whole period of their lives, not die in torment and indignation, but the sum of their days shall be completed, and they shall grow old in peace, while the years of their happiness shall be multiplied with joy and with peace forever, the whole duration of their existence. Yeah, that's a nice touch. Yeah, there was this the part of it? Yeah, this is kind of the deal with the devil moment in chapter 7. It happened after the sons of men had multiplied in those days that daughters were born to them, elegant and beautiful. And when the angels, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, "Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children." Now, there was a note here for the sons of heaven. An Aramaic text reads, "watchers" here. Okay, so the watchers. And when the angels, the watchers, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, "Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children." Then their leader, Samyaza, as I am as, in the mirror, say it backwards. Then their leader, Samyaza, said to them, "I fear that you may perhaps be exposed to the performance of this enterprise, and that I alone shall suffer for so grievous a crime." But they answered him and said, "We all swear." So they cut their deal. "And bind ourselves by mutual execrations, by mutual curse, that we will not change our intention, but execute our projected undertaking." That's where the angels, the dark principalities, cross the Rubicon. 7. Then they swore all together, and all bound themselves by mutual execrations, mutual curse. Their whole number was 200, who descended upon Ardis, which is the top of Mount Armin. Armin Hammer? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're the Armin Hammer. Or it will be. Upon Ardis, or in the days of Jared. Yeah, there's other things coming through too. On my slipstream, I love it. Anyway, it's getting hard to talk now. Anyway, 8. That mountain therefore was called Armin, because they had sworn upon it. They're the Armin, you're the hammer. And of course, don't ham it up too much, because there's a lot of interesting connotations with that. That's all right. It's all cleaned up. well, basically, Ham is duality. I am, right? Ash-am. Asham, Ash, French for, better yet, let's go to Edom, E-T-A-M, Etam, Edom up, okay? That mountain, therefore, was called Armon because they had sworn upon it and bound themselves by mutual execrations. Now, in the literal sense, Mount Armon or Mount Hermon derives its name from the Hebrew word harum, a curse. Harim, the hair between Castor and Pollux. The list goes on and on. These are the names of their chiefs. Hope I get these right. Semyaza, who was their leader. Oh my God. Yura Bar meal. Oh Jesus. You're a bar meal. I love it. You're pub grub. What's a grub? Well, something. Yeah, worms. Sorry, that was the first time I noticed that. Yurakabar. It's, I don't know how the hell they pronounce this in its literal sense, but I just saw Yuraka, so you're a spiritual bar meal. Literally. Akabil, Tamiel, Ramuel, Danel, Azkiel, Saranile, Saranilation, yeah, Aziel, Armors, Batral, Anan, Zavib, Samsavil, Ertael, Turel, Yamyael, Araziel. These were the prefects of the 200 angels, and the remainder were all with them. So there's the 200 that had their own little minions to follow. There's also Aramaic texts that preserve an earlier list of the names of these watchers. Semihaza, Artkov, Ramtel, Kobel, Ramil, Daniel, Zekiel, Barakel, Aziel, Hermione, Madarel, Ananel, Stalwell, Samsiel, Sariel, Tumiel, Turiel, Yomiel, and Yadiel. Oh man, lots of L's in there. 10. Then they took wives, each choosing for himself, whom they began to approach, and with whom they cohabited, teaching them sorcery, incantations, and the dividing of roots and trees. Interesting. 11. Roots and trees. Walking ants, walking trees. Anyway. And the women conceiving brought forth giants. Royal oaks, I would assume, that got sank. 12. Whose stature was each 300 cubits. Some big puppies. These devoured all which the labor of men produced until it became impossible to feed them. This is where it gets interesting. Okay. When they turned themselves against men in order to devour them, and began to injure birds, beasts, reptiles, and fishes, to eat their flesh one after another, and to drink their blood. Their flesh one after another, or one another's flesh. R.H. Charles notes that this phrase may refer to the destruction of one class of giants by another. Oh yeah, cannibalism. Canaan Baalism. Then the earth reproved the unrighteous. That's the first death. Reproving the sword. When I see the word prove, I see execution, proofing, finality. So, chapter 8. Moreover, Azaziel taught men to make swords. Yeah, here's the list of what man was taught that should never have been taught. Like I said, we are basically children that have been given tools far beyond our ability to use them, and why things like atom bombs get built, things like wars happen, and murder exists at all. Okay. I don't imagine too many babies left alone to grow up without that in their reality would ever dream something like that up. But hey, there you go. As long as you can direct a mind, you can get it to create whatever you want it to. And the legal name for it is the director of the mind, of the program mind, that has made all of this nightmare possible. Yeah. Moreover, Azazel taught him to make swords, knives, shields, breastplates, the fabrication of mirrors, and the workmanship of bracelets and ornaments, the use of paint, the beautifying of the eyebrows, the use of stones of every valuable and select kind, and all sorts of dyes, so that the world became altered. Altered means changed, and it also means put up on a pedestal. It was the world was now the altar of worship. Not the kingdom of heaven within, the world without became the idol. 7 deadly sins, and of course your 10 commandments, etc., etc., etc. Impiety increased, fornication multiplied, and they transgressed and corrupted all their ways. Amazarach taught all the sorcerers and dividers of roots. That would be potion makers, beer makers, mead, all, the arts. Dionysus. Okay. 4, armors taught the solution of sorcery. Yeah, giving away a lot of secrets here, aren't they? Yeah. You can't jumpstart creation. You just can't. It does its thing. Barkayal. Yeah, Barkayal. That's the dog barking again. It's all about dogs with these guys. Sirius. Sirius. So that would be Sui-Iri. Am-Ari. Yeah, sorry, just seeing that in the mirror. Sirius in the mirror. The dog star. Barkiel taught the observers of the stars. Funny. Yeah, observers of the stars, astrologers. Akabiel taught signs. You see the knowledge you have at your fingertips now? And as soon as you see this knowledge, you see just how deadly and dangerous it was in the hands of a fool. Tamiel taught astronomy, and Azaradel taught the motion of the moon, and men being destroyed cried out, and their voice reached to heaven. Then Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, Suriel, and Uriel looked down from heaven and saw the quantity of blood which was shed on earth, and all the iniquity which was done upon it, and said one to another, "It is the voice of their cries." Horton hears a who. The earth deprived of her children has cried even to the gate of heaven. Yeah, it had to get pretty nasty to get that far. But again, it's been a smokescreen, right? The hidden is now revealed. And now to you, O you Holy One of Heaven, the souls of men complain, saying, "Obtain justice for us with the Most High." Then they said to their Lord the King, "You are Lord of Lords, God of gods, King of kings." This is the truth itself, the Most High. The throne of your glory is forever and ever is your name's way, path, truth, sanctified and glorified. You are blessed and glorified. 4. You have made all things, you possess power over all things, and all things are open and manifest before you. You behold all things, and nothing can be concealed from you. You have seen what Azazel has done. Yes, we have. How he has taught every species of iniquity upon earth, and has disclosed to the world all the secret things which are done in the heavens. Samyaza also taught sorcery, to whom you have given authority over those who are associated with him. They have gone together to the daughters of men, have lain with them, have become polluted, and have discovered crimes to them. Discovered crimes, revealed these sins. You've revealed these sins to them. The women likewise have brought forth giants. Thus has the whole earth been filled with blood and with iniquity. And now behold, the souls of those who are dead cry out and complain even to the gate of heaven. Their groaning ascends, nor can they escape from the unrighteousness which is committed on earth. You know all things before they exist. You know these things and what has been done by them, yet you do not speak to us. What on account of these things ought we do to them? So this is, well, what's up? Me, toaster, strudel everywhere, toaster strudels. Yeah, chapter 10. Then the Most High, the Great and Holy One, spoke and sent Arsael-Ur, yeah, the son of Lamech. Anyway, translates in Greek to Uriel, saying, say to him in my name, conceal yourself. Then explain to him the consummation which is about to take place. Oh yeah. For all the earth shall perish, the waters of a deluge shall come over the whole earth, and all things which are in it shall be destroyed. And now teach him how he may escape, and how his seed may remain in all the earth, in the heart, how to keep your own heart. Again the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, cast him into darkness, and opening the desert, which is in the Dudael. Sorry, I got this duty-free shop thing pop into my head there. Cast him in there. They love duty-free, don't they? Throw upon him hurled and pointed stones, covering him with darkness. I mean, I could go on and on. The story will make sense to you as you go. And don't forget why you do these things. Pay attention to your life experience and why you had those experiences. So let's get these mics up here. 347-637-3265 to call in, and the BTR listener tonight is 059. Okay, so mics are open. You guys want to go from here?
Well, that was quite a ride. Now we know. I mean, that explains a lot about the dark principalities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to corrupt the innocent.
Oh, man. Corrupted by the effects of teaching, yeah.
Well, being told things, nothing was learning, but being told things far ahead. In a state of innocence, to be thrust into these things without knowing. It was a rape of innocence is what this was.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be. Wouldn't that be like 19? That turned out to be like the 1950s. You know, and then the awakening with the 60s and the music of programming, and
there's a lot of noise in the background. I'm not sure where it's coming from, guys. Can you mute out? I've got the mics open. Can you mute out on your end if you're not talking? Because that's just hard to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, in the 1960s, you brought in the music and the infiltration of, you know, MK Ultra type stuff, and then from there it had a gravitational force to a movement that became a multicultural movement within many social structures, and gender and color and experiencing mind-altering experiences to know something more than what you are just in physical meat stick sense, you know. And then from there you go into the 70s. So that era of what Enoch was saying, I don't know what chapter that was, if it was 5 or what, but you know, you're moving into the gradual epileptic recycling of ages.
Yeah, keep going. Again, here. I'll ask you why you're doing this. Are you visualizing your life experience and putting the pieces together as you go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a very visual person in that.
Yeah,
sense,
you're not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is you're not sharing it literally, but while you're talking about it, you're seeing how it connects and relates to your own life experience. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And part of you were I don't know where you were at the beginning. Somewhere you were very fragmented. I didn't hear anything, and I might have been like right around 3 through 8 at the beginning or something like that, or whatever. But I couldn't hear it all, so I was gonna try to tap in 20, 30, 15 minutes ago and say, hey, what did you just say? Because I missed like 4 of them. But the point is, what has all been forgotten and hidden from us is, Revelations 18, and that's where Enoch kind of fills in a lot of the octaves of what's happening to this point in time. That's how I look at it. It's all on sound and waves, and I'm trying to grasp at straws right now. So fill in if you could.
Well, this is why these books were not put in the general populace. The Book of Wisdom, you'll find that in the Catholic Church, but you won't find it in the Protestant one. You won't find the Book of Enoch anywhere, or the Book of Judas, the Book of Thomas. These books were omitted for a reason, because they're, in the very literal sense, telling the story. Enoch's is as close to the literal, telling you the literal story, as you're going to find. There's not much in terms of layers you have to peel on it. It's right there in front of you. But you got to. This is the work you do within yourself to sort yourself out.
Now I got a question. But the Book
Sure.
of Enoch was found. It was the Emerald Tablets, and when was that found? Do you remember?
The Dead Sea Scrolls was 1947, if I recall.
Somewhere in Israel.
It wasn't in
Egypt or Israel.
I'm not sure where it was, but it wasn't in Israel. I know that.
Well, they probably moved around too. The point, the question is, we know that Zachariah Stinson is also a Freemason, so you always got to be with a grain of salt with what he interprets things. And he might have been one of 8 guys, or what would it be, probably 6 with him, one of 6 people to actually look and assess the interpretation of meaning.
Yeah,
so you got Egypt, the Egyptologist that probably had a hand in it, and that's one for the bad guys already interpreting. But the point is that what we're seeing, is it real? Is it really even real with that sense? That's the layering of minutia to get through. And that's why I think I never got religious in my whole life. As a child, was definitely presented to do it, and for some reason or another, we never did.
Again, I don't want to even separate that part of it either, because this is one of the biggest problems we have in separating things like religion from Greek mythology, from nursery rhymes and fairy tales. They're all telling the same story. The whole illusion of religion has separated that. It's taken the belief system and put it and pigeonholed it. Okay, so I can tell you the Jesus story through the Hercules story, through nursery rhymes, through movies, through videos. I don't care. It's all the same story, and it's about knowing who you are. The game is this simple. Are you working to do good? Yeah, we all fuck up. But are you working towards that? Yeah. Don't worry, you'll figure it out in the contrast. It's all good.
You do, and I always look at it kind of in a sense of just little those. It's like a little firecracker that goes off, a little synaptic nerve. Something triggers, something happens. You have your aha moment, and you see that there's just a lot of unfolding going on right now, which is releasing, to each his own, a liberating experience of emotional detachment that you carried those energies for when it happened. And when you're moving through the phases of self-discovery, of the need to know the truth, the more you go into, the more absorbed you get into it, the more you have those multifractal moments, those standing proud because you know that is what it is. And when you're at those nodes in life, you go through and you accomplish that, and it's the rungs of the ladder of Jacob's ladder too, in a way. And you look at everything.
No, not in a way. Okay,
it is what it is. Yeah,
Thanks.
It is.
Enough of these doubt phrases, and I'm kind of scattered here because I'm not exactly.
Well, I'm trying to be
okay,
expressive that I'm really not much of.
Okay. What I was going to make it easy for you. What is your objective here? What are you trying to show everybody?
The finish line. The finish line, to get there, to know that you're on track to get there, and that's where I'm at.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're seeing.
Yeah, I mean.
You're seeing the magic unfolding. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
again,
with the J and the G, definitely.
One sec. This. Oh, I don't even know how to explain this one. This is for everybody. As long as when I ask if you're seeing the magic, it's a simple yes. You don't need to attach any to it. Okay, it's simply a straight up. This is a fine line. This helps pull people to see it easier. I can't even describe this. Roar, Luca, you guys want to take the helm for a sec? I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll pop in. Something
ahead.
Interesting I noticed while Kate was going through the Book of Enoch was that you call each individual passages and each individual lines verses, and I was just had this thought pop into my head exactly why we call it that, and we call it that because, well, let's just explore the phonics of it. What is a verse? On the surface, you have something like a universe, so there's a whole world, a whole fractal contained within each individual line, but then also within that word verse, you have verses like Ryu versus Ken in video game terms, but it's conflict, and that's why the Bible is a Bible. It's a truth and a lie contained within one. Every line is a verse. It's conflicting duality between the two, and using the magic of it all, which it can be with phonics or it can just be looking at things anagogically or allegorically. It's taking away that verse, that conflict, and putting it into the singularity and finding the truth within. That's why they're verses. That's why it's verses. It's the lie and the truth opposing, and you got to break it down and really get into the magic of it. Sorry about that. Something just popped up on my computer. I've been having internet problems all day. I guess it's the rain going on.
Well, you nailed it well. I mean, that's a good way of that's a perfect way of saying it. And yeah, that is a perfect expression of everything. That the only thing I am trying to deal with is just the dealing with people that are not in any phase, some points of waking up, and so I don't have the full brevity of just speaking out about it, because it would just be so blindsided for them to hear it. And I've already put sample testers out there, and there's, I'm not there to teach them. And I'll give them hints. I've done and this is my family and part of my family, and it's been going on for 4 years. But I can't. It just doesn't work. So the hardest thing for me is expressing myself with everything that I have, compiled throughout just litigious readings for years. And we all got here to the table, and the great thing is that there is the reality that sometimes cast over my interpretation of things. So, I'm there, but I'm not there. I know where I'm going. I know it's the right path. There's no doubt in my mind. It's probably being lonely and I'll leave it at that. But just kind of being lonely with knowing what I know.
Well, something I found was that, like, when I first found this information, it was, like, mind-blowing. It was like, oh, my God, this is crazy. I have to tell everybody about this. And, like, I don't have readily access to a printer, so I couldn't just, like, print out Biff pamphlets and start handing them out to everyone I know. Most of my spreading the word is done word of mouth. So for a while, when I was trying to explain these things to people, they just weren't getting the message. And I thought, like, oh, well, I guess they're just not ready for it or something. But then I found out, I came to the realization that it was me. It was something with me that, like, I couldn't express these thoughts to other people because I couldn't reconcile them or interpret them within myself. And then finally I, like, hit this wall where it all just clicked and it all made sense. And then I was finally able to explain to a good friend of mine all of these things in great detail, and it finally just clicked in his head. And then that's when that real realization hit me, was that, like, the people I was trying to explain it to weren't getting it because I didn't really fully understand it within myself. But then when that change happened, when I did finally get that beyond understanding and into understanding, where that this knowledge has resonated within my very being, that it was at that point where I could explain this to anybody. It didn't matter because I could explain it in multiple different ways. I can explain it legally, I can explain it spiritually, allegorically. It doesn't matter. It's just that I needed to understand it within myself first and really get that resonation within myself before I could expand it, project it outwards to everybody else. Like, I remember when I first found this stuff, it was kind of going right over my girlfriend's head, and it just, like, didn't make any sense until I made sense of it. And then it just clicked with her, and then it clicked with my friends, and that's the magic of it all. You got to solve these things within yourself first, and then you can save the world. You know, there's an old axiom I always like to turn to when thinking about this stuff, and it's that he who wishes to change the world must first be willing to change themselves. And I take that as change your mind, change the world. That these things have to happen internally before you can ever project them outwards, because if you don't have it in full order within yourself, then when it projects outwards, it's going to come out like a freaking mess. You know, it's not going to make any sense to people because it doesn't make sense within you. And that's the point of what I'm getting at, is that if you're having trouble explaining these thoughts to your friends, your family, whatever, then it's because you're having trouble explaining them to yourself. And then once you can do that, once you can sit down with self and explain these things in a way that you get them in perfect order, then you can explain it to anybody in perfect order. And that's where the real magic gets in, because, like, I came to this knowledge at a time where I was really digging into magic and really kind of exploring that thing. And I've been following the path of magic my whole life. It's just kind of who I am. It's who we all are when you really get down to it. But so what really resonated with me at first was the Phoenicians, seeing the magic of words, which was something I had always known in my heart, but didn't have the tools to do so until I could really play with the Phoenician and the anagogics of it all. And then once I moved past that and started really figuring out the kind of nooks and crannies of the legal name fraud, that's when it all just fell into place, that, like, you got to get both sides of it, the magic and the literal. See, there's another axiom I always like to turn to. It's a Native American quote. I think it's Apache to be specific, but it doesn't matter where it came from. The quote is what's important. The quote is, "The wise man understands both the spiritual and the physical." And that means seeing both things. You got to see the literal story on the surface, and then the allegorical story beneath that, and then the anagogic even above that. And there's this excerpt from the Wikipedia article on anagogics that I've been thinking about, that interpreting things literally is looking backwards to the past. Interpreting things allegorically is looking forwards into the future. Interpreting things morally or humanly, they use the word tropologically. I prefer the term moral or human. It clicks with people more, because tropologically is like a bullshit academic term that I don't really think will click with most people if you're not a freaking scholar. Anyway, anagogic is looking at things upward, into the heavenly, into the spiritual. The real mechanics behind everything are the anagogics, and that's what anagogics are in the simplest sort of definition.
The word, what was it,
tropologically, I think.
Yeah, tropologically, that's the first thing that resonated there was finding the balance between the sine and the cosine waves of the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, the mother and the Christ child. Right. So what's happening there when you see that both of the anagogic, what you're doing is seeing the as above, so below, Cancer, Capricorn, mother, child at the equator. You're walking the equator. One straight line.
0 point.
Yeah, right through it all. So, and you create the equator wherever you are. You are the equalizer. You are the equator within your own reality. The world turns the direction you're walking. And it's the heavenly winds that move the clouds across the sky, okay? Pillars of heaven. Read into Enoch a whole lot more. This is the pillars of Hercules, Samson, Delilah pillars, the pillars of Solomon, Joachim, Boaz. It's the truth within self in balance that holds the heavens. You are your own atlas. You create your own heart, your own earth. Yeah, so that word, that's the first time I'd come across that one. I hadn't seen that one before. Yeah, as soon as you said it, I said, that's the tropics, the balance in between. Because for me, I'm always looking for the center. You know, how is it mirror? So I look for a sound in it. Tropic, tropics. Right, the trop I see. Right, the trap I see. So what you're doing is you're seeing the traps of duality. You see that a word means yes and no at the same time. It means up and down at the same time. Well, up, there's the intent of the Luciferian penis, okay, up. Down, well, that's tone, T-O-N-E. You just have to flip the D out, and you'll have town or tone. Make the same sound, T-O-N-E, to give you the concept of musical tone, right? So the high tones and the low tones, up and down, equal and opposite to each other. Cancer, the mother's milk, that's the heavenly mother, and Capricorn, which is representative of the Christ child, or the Virgin, the Virgo. Right? It's mother and child reunion. You're taking all the shit out of the middle.
Oh, yeah. Chapter 10, verse 3, it really struck me with, say to him in my name, conceal yourself. That's what the legal name has done. It's trapped you, concealed your true self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty straight up. Everything goes back to the legal name fraud. We're chasing the dog is what we're doing, guys. Tracking the dog. You'll find the dog and everything. Look for the dog star.
The serious.
Yeah, look at the word chat. In French, it's cat. Chat? Yeah, chat from the heavens. Cat from the heavens. K-T. Oh, yeah, you can't. Raining cats and dogs, baby. Boy, those essays have a whole new level of understanding now. Yeah. Well, have a look at, dog fights, dog tags, dogs of war, dogs chasing cars. Look at the allegories. Look for the dog everywhere. And the dog is typically the angry one. The cat is the, couldn't be bothered. Okay? See the energy of the animal itself. It plays out in the allegory. Yeah, dogs are fun and playful, and they're great. And I love puppies. I love kitties. see it for the anagogic allegory that they represent, playing out in the physical, right? You have the fee lion, it'll cost you because they're lying, or the feline, which is the cat, in its genus sense, Yeah, it's pretty funny. Don't mind me, I'm tired.
Something interesting that popped into my head when you said before Arm and Hammer is that when I listened to the phonics of that, my mic kind of cut out just a little bit, and I heard amour, amour, which is a double love. In French, amour is love. So I heard Arm and Hammer, and it just became amour, amour, love on both sides. It was really funny to hear that, and I know it was only because my mic skipped out, but the phonics are all there, and that's what I look for now. I try and ignore all the spellings because the spellings are the trap. I listen closely.
Yeah, amorous, am-horus, the am-horus, the Christ. See, that's the allegory of Osiris, Isis, and Horus. And all of these things have been corrupted into idol worship, idol form. And they're telling, but see, that's the thing, though. In the most evil idol worship must be the most benevolent truth, and they must tell the same story. If you buy the literal one, you'll be worshiping statues, robes, ministers, priests, governments, queens, kings. That was the setup. These were allegories to show you how to find yourself within that have been corrupted. It's our cavalry's here. Cleanup time. Something about that 10,000 saints thing, Oh yeah, there's a lot coming. It's all good. Just breathe, do the work on yourself, and move from there. Treat every moment as a now moment. People will live in the past. They constantly live in the past. They constantly hold on to things. They constantly look for something to debate. It's all about justifying their own existence. Let's go back to, I'll show you. These are the things that you've encountered. In those days shall you resign your peace with the eternal maledictions of all the righteous, and sinners shall perpetually execrate you. You see, it doesn't matter what you do. Those trying to curse you will find some way to curse you to justify their own cursing of themselves. Shall execrate you with the ungodly. They'll try to make you seem like one of them when there's a higher purpose to things. But they don't understand that. But you unholy, you shall be accursed. Yes. The elect shall possess light, joy, and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. You see, it all boils down to the same thing it always does. What is your intent? Is your intent to harm, or is your intent one of benevolence with purpose? In that light, one can do no wrong. How many contrasts have you had to experience in your life? Countless. How many things have you had to look through to sort out within yourself? Trying to figure out within yourself why. Well, okay, I see why. Your whole paradigm shifts on this stuff. It's really hard to even put this into words. My simple attitude is throw a smile on the face and carry on. And these chains that people hold on to, it's mind-boggling. When someone is holding on to anything or something, they're the ones holding that chain, not you. Yeah, this game can't end soon enough, eh? Yeah. Oh, my nephew texted me yesterday on Facebook. Nice to hear from him. Guys, there's never a day that goes by that you're not all in my thoughts constantly. You'll never guess why I do this. Whether it's as noble to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, and what outrageous fortunes we found ourselves in on many occasions. Yet for the full understanding of knowledge, what's the saying? My people suffer. Yeah. Caught up in the demonic literals. Caught up in the playing house. Caught up in the melee. The things that motivate an experience. The choice of would not. And how many things in your life, as in mine, would you not do again? The game is about being original, never. To me, it's never the same thing twice. Can't be. It has to be a defined purpose to it. You understand the purpose. It's like, oh, there it is. That's why. Okay. So, and typically, you'll be the one that will understand the flaw of it, and don't expect anyone else to understand. They're just execrating you to make them part of them without any full understanding. They don't understand the Christ mind experiential. To understand the world and your role in it. And only through the experience will you understand these things. That will becoming the real live being. The wouldn't boy to the live boy. Put that in the mirror of itself. Because the true living is the one that wouldn't, but the live version, this mirror of it is, of course they would. And they'll keep doing it and keep doing it. They won't correct their course. And don't expect many of them to understand you. That's pretty much been, Very few will actually understand where you're coming from. Me, I'm just here to dance. Need to learn. Beeping up. Get word up. Come on. It's pretty simple, really. So much. Seriously. Seriously? Not my kind of thing. We got 36 minutes. Oh, there's Randy. 347-637-3265, and I'm probably going to call it early night. I'm trying to get that cycle broke here, so become more of a daytimer. Try to balance out a little bit, you know. Like going to bed at 1 or 2 isn't bad, but this noon, actually, what I sleep till about 1:30. I asked Nick to knock the door at 2 o'clock, right? So I drifted for about 45 minutes. I'm really cruising today.
Hey, lovely.
Yeah, I've sleep. I had this problem all my life, just getting these sleep hours when I'm going to bed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Found sometimes the best fix is to just push your wine so I can go to bed in one time, and that'll break the cycle.
You were barrel whole. So. Yeah. If you want to me?
You're breaking up there, Kate.
Yeah, I'm watching my Skype go out here. That's why I was surprised anyone actually.
You're drifting in and out. It's okay though. We can get the gist of it by catching a few words in and out again. But I want to do a quick breakdown just because you said the word wouldn't, and now for some reason I can't just like turn off my Phoenician brain. It just like goes off on its own. You said the word wouldn't, and my mind just immediately cracked that W into an O and turned it into ode ent. And we talked about ode before. Ode's it's a poem. It's a story, and ent is mind. It's so wouldn't is the poetic mind, or it's the no.
Gnostic, no stick. You've got to become the tack in the tic-tac-toe. The tick-two. And, of course, there's cat in the mirror, tack. We were talking about the Kit Kat bar last night. Yeah, how many fingers? Funny that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right? OED. Or how many things in there? Where are? Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah, it's tic tac.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you. Oh.
Yeah. You know, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Carry on. I don't know if you.
We got carry on, so I think I'm just gonna take the helm right now because I know Roy's on the other end, so I've got someone to play with.
I'm right here. I can hear you now. Your mic was breaking up earlier as well.
See, I've been having internet problems all day. I don't know what it was. I ended up doing the show from my backyard, pretty much just my morning show from my backyard, just because my internet was so bad that it only worked when I was in very specific locations on my land. It was so weird that it wouldn't work in certain places, but it would in others. Still doing that.
I was able to listen in to the recording, and when I heard Kate on there, I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, it was a nice surprise.
Yeah, but I know she hadn't slept all night. That's how it goes. You go with the flow.
I do that on occasion.
Yeah, on occasion.
Yeah, sure. A couple of questions. I ask you a few questions with this legal name fraud. Yeah, it should. Talk about sparking you up. I know this is very serious. Indeed, it is. One of those nights tonight.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you actually hear anything I just said there? It was a question someone had.
No, we couldn't hear.
Okay, here's the question. Hopefully it works this time. Hey, I ask you a few questions of this legal name fraud situation. It has really sparked interest. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know this is a very serious matter. Very serious. I'm skeptical on what is there to do to stop this from happening. Well, it's easy. Change your mind. Losename.com, great place to start. Hang out at the table here, and just know this: it is a legal fact that it is illegal to use a legal name. You're breaking the law. That's the catch-22. It's a deliberate catch-22. It's a deliberate trap to suck you into their reality, and you keep going, don't ya? Not us. We learn to say no. Just say no to thugs.
Well, that's not the first time I've heard that today. Brother John had an impromptu meeting with about 10 minions with weaponry today. I'll let him share that.
There we go.
Yeah, I decided to get out early and get some cream for the coffee. And anyways, there was a school bus, and I got back of probably about 5 cars, and it was on the major highway. So I did a couple stops, and I said, hey, I noticed that the other cars on the other side aren't stopping over there, like 25 feet and all that, so they're passing by, so I'm going to see if I can get in position to get over on the other side of the highway the next time the darn bus stops. So anyway, I realized I got an SUV police in back of me, and they follow me around quite a bit anymore. I think they just like to look to see what's going on, but I went ahead and maneuvered all the way over to the other side of the road to position myself in back of that school bus first time. Nothing said. Getting back in the school bus. School bus goes to maneuver to stop, and source. I went ahead and see what was going long in advance. I knew it was going to happen. So, anyway, it was two double yellow lines in the highway. So there's a big meridian in between. And I get to the other side of the highway and just pass an old school bus, just like the other one's going the other way, but I took their side of the road. So anyways, I get pretty much into town and by a dirt lot, just barely into town, and I see, I got lights in back of me, and there's that SUV I seen. So anyways, I pull over, and for the first time, I didn't have any nervousness. I didn't have anything like that whatsoever. No dry mouth, no nervousness, no pulsating of the heart, red blood rushing real hard. None of that stuff. It was as calm as could be. And the guy comes. I have my dog in this old 58 pickup and going to get cream. Anyways, and a couple other things. And so he comes up to me and goes, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, yeah. I said, obviously you're ignorant and you think for some reason that I have contracted with DOT, Department of Transportation, or Department of Licensing or something like that. Is that not so? And I handed him, I said, here you go. And I handed him that little card I made that said no soliciting or any of that, no legal name, no person, no legal games, no legal jargon, all that stuff, no persons, no drivers, none of that stuff on it says. And so he takes it, goes back to the car. Meanwhile, this SWAT guy, he was like a prison guy, almost looked like an army guy. He's dressed in that green color with the kind of hat like army guys wear, and he had a canvas type of belt set up, and almost like prison guard, maybe a tower type. I don't know. I couldn't put it together. But the elements that are here is just pretty much everything. You got it all here because of the prisons and so on. So. And it's Mormon Mafia town, so the Mormons run it. So, anyways, not to mention any of that more, he's telling me, he says, well, you're not to pass the school bus on at all, while it stopped. I said, well, that's on the other side of the road. I said, that meridian, the other cars were doing it, and I know that's just the complete other side of the highway according to your standard. And so he says, I don't care about those other people. I'm only care about you now. So I said, okay, is that so? And he says, yeah, that's so. I said, okay. So I took the window on his side and I rolled it up. And I started, just looking at this other guy. And he ends up coming back and hands me back that card. And I said, no, you go ahead and take it. He goes, no. I said, that's okay. And he goes, could you just watch out for the kids for me? And I says, I says, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's why I went to the far other side of the highway to do that. I says, I'm watching out for the kids. I said, I love the kids. I said, I love you. And I said, I love your children and their children. I says, that's the way it is, really. And he goes, okay. Well, he says, you have a nice evening then. And because they never stopped coming, and I was probably there it was the minimal time ever spent that I'd ever had. It's probably about a whole 15 minutes. Whole 15 minutes, there was cars coming or SUVs coming the whole time, and it was every agency, federal guidelines and enforcement agencies, and And before the last one even got parked, I was on my way. So I'm thinking that maybe before even got halfway through the amount of people was there, what was going on, I was already going down the highway already. So it was just, and all I said is no legal name. I said, I don't have any legal name. And before you hear it says, I said, don't you know it's fraud to use the legal name. I said, I can't do that. I'm not committing fraud. And I said, to even ask for the legal name is considered to be attempted murder under your own standard. And that's when he walked on and came back and handed me the card. But anyways, it was a rather very exhilarating at the same time, very calm. I felt very calm. It's funny how that happened, how it was. And it was very smooth. And even though a lot of cocky things were going through my mind to say, it ended up just benevolent and sharing love with him and letting him know, of course I would, But at the same time, he recognized that I had the authority, and the others, I'm sure, they were waiting for someone to pull me over in that truck, because they all know that there's a buzz going around town in this little place, and so anyway, so when it did, then they all showed up, and all to their own letdown. It was, I just tell you, every time something, I know it'll never happen again with me, or probably anyone, because they'll associate them with me now. And anyways, there's no words for it other than I walk taller every time it happens. My posture automatically straightens up, and I breathe deeper. And I just can't, there's no words to express how free you feel and clean you feel and right you feel and unquestioned what you're doing that is right. Because
Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice having a legal fact to throw right in their face?
They can do nothing. They pretty much bow to you.
It's done at that moment.
They didn't actually do the bow, but their eyes, you can see in their eyes go kindly. You know what I mean? Instead of adversarial.
Yeah. Buzzkill, you're taking the demon out of them. That's I read it in Enoch there. That's, or Revelations actually, the sword of truth, the fires that come out of.
Yeah, the guy came was an officer up there or somewhere or whatever, but he had about 3 or 4 dicks on each arm, so he was been around. You know what he actually told me? He goes, I know. I said, I used to live in Montana, and I said to him, I said, well, if you know, I said, then what gave you the idea that you should pull me over if you already know?
Yeah, but again, see these you got to be careful with these monkeys too. Because as soon as you said that, I know what his intent was. It was to group you in with the Montana Free Man. So you be very careful in answering these. Just this is for everybody. Don't chit chat with the good cop, bad cop. Okay, just state your fucking piece, move on. This is for everybody. Because don't get caught in the I'm going to educate you or I'm going to defend something.
Oh no, it didn't go there at all.
This is not for you. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Remember?
Yes.
So anytime someone's talking to me, you're the only one I'm not talking back to. I'm talking to everybody else now because you give the contrast. You can't define a definition with the definition itself, you see? This is where we get caught up in the literals. So this is to be mindful. What I'm trying to illustrate here are the subtle traps that get set. What is the presumption of saying, oh, you're from Montana? I know what that is. Trying to associate with the Montana Freemen. And the guy that was one of the, I guess he was an ex-judge. He ended up going to jail and dying in jail.
Wow.
Okay. I've done the homework. So this is why these things trigger so quickly, is because I'm waiting for them. I've looked in a lot of places. Well done. Yeah, I mean, there it is. This is the comfort that people need to have, the power of standing in the truth of a simple legal fact. You don't need to practice law to know this.
Yeah. Well, for me, Kate, and everyone out there, I had, you have your visions and your intuitive sense inside. And some time back, about 6 months ago, something came over me that let me know that, like a lot of things had, so I know I was waiting for it to come full circle, that I wouldn't have to be treated like Job no more, that I wouldn't have to suffer basically the burdens of this world any longer, and or be punished or brutalized by these policy enforcers. And so this was a full circle for me, because I tell you, everyone out there, man, all my life it's been nothing but brutalized, beat up, fighting, everything, man, fisticuff, a lot, throughout the years. And anyway, so this 15 minutes and a very pleasant experience, ending with benevolency and love towards them and others like them, was, I just, you don't know. How many? You feel strong and compassionate. You feel so strong, but not in a macho external way.
So it's very humble. How many dominoes showed up for you to knock down?
10.
There you go.
10 trucks. I don't know how many in the trucks, but 10.
Yeah, you look at. They're serving them up to us, guys. Deal them back. You might as well be standing in front of a T-34 tank coming run at you high speed. Do you remember this scene in Alice in Wonderland when what was it? Not the Jabberwocky. What's the other creature? What's the one that came running at her? Oh, for crying out loud! Why is this escaping me? I'm having a hard time seeing stuff right now. Anyway, this animal came running up to her, but she said, "This is my dream."
It was like a black dog cat thing that she ended up riding. Is that the one? Did she end up riding that thing?
It was more beige, I think, as I recall it.
Right.
Yeah. It's no. It's I'm just making sure my visuals are right. It's going to drive me nuts. But anyway, somebody's probably going to Skype it in. Anybody know what that adversary that had the sword, that the Vorpal sword that Alice had to get? It was I termed it the fluffy, the ego, the demon, right? That's exactly what the system is the same thing. Once you hold this is what I'm talking about, commanding the demon. When you get control of the demon within you, right? This is of this world, remember? That's the fluffy, that's the ego personality, the debating going on constantly, the literal monkey chatter in your head. Once you get a grip on that demon, sit, then you can see clearly. And once you get control of your demon, you command all others in the same truth of knowing thyself. I just, what's really funny, I sent out, someone had sent an email regarding constitutionalism and whatever, so I wrote back, and I put in it, take the time to look it up first before you opinionate, and of course someone emails back and says, what the hell, WTH this? So I said, look it up. This is how quick these demons react. The demons within people, whether that's someone that's, just strikes me as an innocent that is completely programmed and duped into a literal reality. Fine, use a literal reality against it. It's a legal fact that it is illegal to use a legal name. It's a deliberate catch-22 setup to damn you if you do and damn you if you don't, to hand the curse to you, so you carry the burden. I think we've carried enough burdens for demons. What do you think?
Yeah.
You're peeling that monkey off their backs when you do that. It's neat to watch their demeanor change, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And the one guy that's dressed in the army getup, he was trying to be friendly with the dog and asked me, he says, well, what's your dog's name if you don't have a name? And I said, well, she don't have a name either. And she goes, well, what do you call it? What do you call her? We call each other, he says. And I said, well, we call each other all kinds of things. Because you do you? I said, oh, yeah. That's kind of how that ended up, But it was very light, humorous, and a very pleasant experience for the first time in my life.
Yeah, careful with these good cops. They're typically the bastards.
Yeah.
They're the offspring of this construct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the deceivers will be everywhere, and they'll. You see, I don't buy this light talk from anyone because the face always gives it away. I've seen a few of these guys and girls up close and personal, and they're, man, you might as well paint one black and one white, with the starkest contrast.
For me, sensitive, the whole world's anew. Everything is a possibility now, with no stops, no nothing holding you back really, and it's just amazing to me. Every day, it's just more happening in every way, and when you have joy in your heart and you're truly happy, you walk with a bounce in your step, an ear-to-ear grin. And you just want others to be able to do the same. So that's my goal. And but I do it by living example now instead of trying to tell people. So now we're there. You know, for myself, I have enough to be able to show whoever they don't have to listen, family or whatever, if I were to go by. But I'm truly free, and they're truly not. And so I look forward to sharing by example with others as it goes on. So there was one other thing I wanted to say, but it skipped my mind. But anyways.
Well, let's just say there's at least 10 dominoes having a different conversation around the table tonight at dinner time. You know.
Well, it's that and that because of the property here that I had.
Oh, it's an exponential. Like I said, those are 10 dominoes, and look at all the other dominoes that just got knocked over. That's the whole idea. When you spot the one domino, look at it's because I know there's a fractal falling behind it, and all the effect that's going to have on those observing it, whether they're in uniform or whether they're a nosy neighbor with their head out the window. It doesn't matter. Yeah. This is where you get to be the witness, the one in the state of knowing, and they get to be the witness. Therefore, it is established.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happiest I've ever been in a long time, and I feel if you have ever felt like, remember we've all said this, boy, I wish I knew what I knew now when I was younger. Well, that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, I just put them together.
Yeah, because I am younger. I'm getting younger because of happiness, and I don't feel, I'm 53 years old, and I feel like a teenager. And I see the youth coming about on my face and my skin, and just in everything is happening. And just little by little, as I learn to be able to treat my body right and put good stuff in it, and do the urine therapy. Of course, I'm doing that. And you just learn to do more and more each day. I tell you, I feel like a child with all the knowledge of a very wise man or being, and I'm truly on the beginning. Well, I'm free, but each day you get freer. So it's just each now as you go on, you just smile gets bigger, and you step lighter, and everyone smiles around me now because I'm happy. I mean, it's funny to go out into the world and people smile at you all over the place. You get pretty smiles from everybody, and that's a delight. It's a delight. So anyways, I've said my piece really, and I recommend it for everybody. It's a little scary. It's like jumping off a cliff or jumping out of a plane or anything that takes a little bit of nerve and a little bit of gumption to do. But once you do it, I'm going to tell you, it's nothing that you're ever going to regret. And in every experience from the beginning till you get to even where Kate or myself or Randy or Bert or anyone like that, Becky, and Jules and those people that I can think up the top of my head that I know that are doing this. Forgive me if I've forgotten anybody that I've seen and that I know that are doing it. But anyways, I'm going to tell you, our life's getting more beautiful every day, and it's evident. You'll never know until you do it. You just never will. You'll hear the good stories. It'd be just like a good book, something enthralling, a mystery, and all the intrigue involved. But until you do it, you won't see the parallel life, because we're parallel to the other world now, completely. It's like a movie. it's like a movie you get to walk through. Really.
Yeah, you start directing your own show by not needing to direct it at all. It's funny as well.
Right. You don't have to interact, and you can pick the characters you want as you go through it because you're the director and you're the everything. You know what I mean? So you can choose or not to choose to interact. It's really funny that way because it's very comical. You find the humor in things instead of the anger or the frustration. It becomes humorous. And
from old country, we call for this one. We make for calling co-creation. You see, yes, very good. Yes?
Creation of the child, yes, and that's exactly what it is. You become the grown-up child. Here's the allegory I like to use. That imagine yourself as a 10 or 11-year-old kid, and you want to build a tree house, and heaven hands you the American Express Gold Platinum card. Build whatever you want, whatever tools you need, and that's effectively what it feels like. What do you need? So, yeah, I'm good with that. So I just, whatever you think I need, creation, whatever truth thinks I need, I'm good with that. You know?
Because it's perfect.
Yeah. Here was. Sorry, just had it popped up in my reality. Sapphire. That was the other one I was talking about. The pins we got: the initial, pearl, ruby, sapphire, emerald, then the diamond. Okay, the diamond in the physical was never achieved, so it was achieved in the spiritual. The emerald, I knew there was one missing, and it makes sense because in the alchemical sense of things, you have the initiate, the initial pin, right? And then you have the pearl. That's the pearls of wisdom. So you become initiated into the truth, and then you get the pearls of wisdom. And, of course, then there's the marriage with the truth, the spirit breath of intent, you be, you ring finger, the marriage, that's the bridegroom and the bride. And then that's when creation sets on fire, say fire, sapphire. And then, of course, the emerald table is where we're at. I've been at that for a while. I just wanted to connect that one anagogic that was there, and I knew there was a piece missing, and it just jumped in. So there we go. Sapphire. That's the third time I've seen it since last night. Oh, yeah, I got to clear that one up. Okay. That's all I do is I look for the three, and then I look at me. There are no coincidences, guys. Not a one.
None. Zero. Nada.
Done.
There were coincidences there, Sister Katie.
Maybe. What will be, may be. Yes. Must be. May means must be. So it's a legal definition, by the way. Maybe and must mean the same thing in legal. Funny that, isn't it? Well, maybe you will and you must at the same time. Crazy, crazy place, this planet.
Yeah. It's you go on your farkle, right? You're in your rig, and you just looking around. It is all such a crock of shit, and then you realize, wait, no, it's not a crock of shit. It's perfect. Look at the beauty, and then you begin, at some point on your way, in your path, you begin to see trees more frequently. You begin to see the beauty more frequently. And that makes it easier. It's fun. It's just a delight.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're in air of zone 1, right? So, well, we're not in it. We're on what they call it. And we have a garden, tomatoes, onions, corn. They're sprouting. The three of us did them, a couple Sundays ago.
Yeah.
Broccoli, sprouting. We've created, worm earth mixed with what Creator gave us with the red clay of Zone 1, and also from a friendly landscape company. So there you go. So it can't be done, you say? Huh. How about that? Keep thinking that, folks. Keep thinking it. No,
even
don't.
Anazara, Anu Oz, the heart of creation, in the womb of what is Era, that's Arizona backwards. Era, that's there's Aaron, Era, Era. Sorry, I'm just piecing it together. That's the spirit breath of Christ in the mirror. So and it plays forwards as well. It's that's another of the vocabulary dabbling in palindromes, or what I like to term radar words. They read the same way front and back. Longest palindrome, I think, is Abel was I, ere I saw Elba, Napoleon, sort of thing. But this is the thing about language, is that I flow both directions. I look at it in both directions, and it's getting more fluent in the right to left, where we've been programmed left to right only. Justified left, where when you move to the right, you are now justified right. So if you ever notice the essays, I set them up center justified. That's a deliberate intent to do that, to walk it right down the middle. These are the little details that I would think of. They just pop in. Oh yeah, legal left justified, regal right justified. So I go right in the middle. Centaur justified, right? Just I create. The centaur just I created in past tense, right? This is crazy fun, guys. And it's so hard to put this into words. Truth be known, I have fucking no idea how we got this far. It just kind of happened. Have you noticed?
It's in the flow. That's a beautiful, subtle. We talked about that last night. That backdoor trick with the essays, and that's another one. Yeah, that down the center. Yeah,
I talked about that earlier with Luca. Right in the middle, with the center justified, because we were talking about that. Is you don't see it happening, but it literally tricks your mind into the anagogic. It just happens. The light goes on. Just keep reading the essays. The light will go on. I don't care how many in you get, but it will go on. I think we have Steve from Birth Certificate.
Oh, you caught me.
yes, Stevie Wonder. I want you, because we got like 2 minutes to roll over here. We'll roll over for a bit. For those who want to call in, because I want you to share your story. It's fun, isn't it?
Which one?
The one you sent me in the email yesterday. That's what I was going to get to, but then being half cocked and not quite awake, it doesn't work so well. But anyway, the number
it's cool.
Yeah, number is 347-637-3265. BTR listeners 059 for those that want to call in. All you have to do is hit one on the dial pad. Lets me know that you want to chit chat with us. Okay, the work's out of the way. Roar, do you want to do a quick snip before we roll here for the snip the nip?
GNIP, we will be on tonight. The call-in number is 914-803-4058. And we'll post the BTR listener number as soon as possible.
Fair enough. All right, Steve. Stevie Wonder, hit us.
Into story time. Yeah, let's see. It was probably the lightest feather brushing that you could possibly get, in my terms. And I was doing a little work for some people, and just for a little cash. And I was up in a trailer park area. And the night before, some guys, I guess, sort of vandalized something back in the bush, and and the next day when I was working there, the police showed up to investigate that. I imagine that's what they were there for. That's what I was told later. And so the constable decided that he was going to tag my car for towing and everything else. And I guess the people I was working for, I saw the lady talking. I noticed the cop car there. And so I went out and I said, "What are you up to?" And he goes, "Well, I'm having this vehicle towed." So the tow truck just was pulling in at that time, and he said, there's nothing in this vehicle. It doesn't have, registration, VIN, anything else. I need your ID. I said, no. I said, I do not use a legal name. And he got quite quiet about that. And anyway, he said, he kept on insisting that he needed a name. And I said, no, you're not going to get that. I said, you have a legal name, and basically, if I can remember correctly, he said, yes, I do. And I said, well, you commit fraud when you have a legal name. Went through that jargon, and he just kept on backing away from me. The tow truck driver was probably the most, this guy was big. And he was working away, and I said, do you realize you're aiding and abetting in theft right now? And he started mimicking the basically the law that the cop had just mentioned to me earlier. I guess there was an echo going on. And so I sort of walked around the vehicle, and he was still crawling around, big guy, a troll. And he basically just took a look and saw me standing there, and I said, what are you, a monkey? Something like that. And he came just bouldering towards me, and it was like there was a wall in front of me that stopped him dead. And I never flinched the whole time. I just watched him come. And he mumbled some things and then went back to work. And, the cop got in the cruiser. I was trying, actually, I gave him a package for the commander here. It's got a clown of folly mask in it. So I handed that to him in our discussion, and I said, you've got to give this to Troy Durant, your commander. And
yeah. One second.
And it had some documents in it, too. I think it'll be an interesting read. Hopefully he puts the mask on and takes a look in the mirror, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Steve,
so
Steve,
they took the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
And so I've emailed them and everything else with, please replace the vehicle where you found it, and a few comments on my own, a few documents, and stuff that just needed to be delivered. So
there you go.
The people on the block were watching, people in the house were watching, and the one guy who I was doing a little bit of work for said to me, why didn't they arrest you? Did you get a ticket? Nothing. So it was interesting because I felt that day like something was going to happen along that line, but of course it never happens the way you expect it to. And I'm not looking for it. I imagined myself back in the house that night, and I was returned quickly. The people drove me home, and they said, aren't you worried about this? I said, not at all. I said, I won't be surprised if that van is back in that driveway, by the end of the week. So we'll see what happens. It was just what I'm hearing in the explanation of other people as well is that there was no fear, there was no anger, there was a little bit of turbulence after, but I looked at it and I was very thankful for people sharing their experiences, and the truth is definitely there to stand in, but you've got to choose. So that's any questions on that anyway? We'll see how it rolls.
Oh, look, my timing's perfect. Sorry to pop. I had to pop away for a sec. I was trying to cut in so a couple of things you've been going over. Your motor mouth, man. Holy shit. You got to breathe so I can.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Well, no, it's when you're talking about handing the cop your package. This Luciferian game is all about dick measuring. Wait till you see the size of our package. And that's exactly what it is.
Well, that's I had to put the clown of folly in that one. It's probably a mask you haven't seen. There will be more coming on. I'm just sharing it, and it's sort of fun to have a place to share. All this has been locked up in me as I've been creating.
Are you having fun? That's the whole game here. Now you know how to play the game, and isn't it fun? Seeing who dances now.
It was the perfect experience. It was delivered to me. It was a nice fit. Let's just put it that way. It was just right down to the tow truck driver. Just hilarious interaction going on between him and I. And I was just playing with him, and I got his goat.
They can't do anything about it. But
but
good.
those two left really quickly. You know, it was just sort of like they gathered everything up. I came in partway through it.
See,
so,
what you're doing with those that are caught up in the matrix, that are, you know, not of the species, if you will, what you're doing is when you get their goat, you're firing them up. So you're actually getting the fire within them going. And here's the neat part. You've churned in some really good seed in there to turn around, right? And it'll churn around, and they'll turn around. Depends how you pronounce T, if you're from the UK or Canada, right?
Right.
Churn, turn, same thing to me. Bird, you know, something you make butter with.
Well, occurring at the same time as the creation coming through on these masks, and I just finished The Three Sisters when all this sort of took place. And looking into what they mean to me is very, very fascinating. And the masks are named Pangaea, Ursula, and Medusa. And, of course, they're all mythical, and you can find Three Sisters through several myths. So anyway, let's see what's coming. This is very interesting. So any feelings on that one?
Well, you have the Cinderella story there, the wicked stepmother and the two evil stepdaughters. And, of course, the fourth quad being the Cinderella. You have the same thing playing out in the Three Sisters of Leinster, Munster, and Connacht, the three provinces in the south of Ireland, with the Cinderella Ulster in the north. These are all... that's the trinity that mirrors that you get to balance, the three good, the three evil, and, of course, you're the one that brings power to either side of it, right? This is going a bit more fractal than I was expecting, but okay. I just wanted to leave it at that, just to see the Three Sisters, the fates, and then look what each of them represent in the mythological. Again, don't see what they are literally. Medusa is a snake-headed chick that's really pissed off. Okay, that's what Medusa is in the most literal sense. You know, the picture. What is the purpose of why she is in that form? It's to show the many things that will turn your heart to stone. The many-headed serpents, all of the Hydra, Scylla and Charybdis, on and on. Scylla, bulls, word, many-headed Hydra. H2O, water, human body, made up hydrogen, and thanks, Gary. It was a great email, laying these things out. Sorry, this is just went a bit faster and bigger than I was. I'm tired, so it's really flying. I'll shut up now. Back to your
Are you
package,
doing well?
Steve. Show how big your package is. That's so funny, man.
There will be a package. We did a bit of a mask video. Lose the mask, lose the name, win the game, and then we'll see if it comes out. It's only about 30 seconds long, so we'll be posting it soon, I hope.
Lose the mask you lie in. Yeah.
So everything came together for that. It was a crazy evening with a bunch of parents with little children, and I brought a case of masks, and I said, do you guys want to be in a video? And so the son actually does videos. So everything sort of chimed right together, and we did this quick little take, and then we're just putting it together. And we'll throw it on Facebook, see what happens.
There you go, just like that.
Yeah, the Three Sisters will be there, so look out for them.
Yeah,
it's time to play.
Yeah, got my little mask right over there. It can look right.
Cool. Wild Divine.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
It's right colors too, orange and green. How'd you know? I just get to be white in the middle of them. Don't discredit Tweety too much. Or Elmer. They were saying things white all along. Ooh-I-T. Who-I-T. Oh, yeah. Who-I crucify or who-I truth. White. Wit. Ooh-it. Yeah, so get around to it. Ooh-it. Ooh and ah-it all the way home. It gets quite ridiculous and funny. You'll have your blissful moments of, okay, I'm good.
Well, what's interesting is when these incidences come about, it's like an animation that you're watching.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what it is.
The characters that show up are like, as you say, you couldn't make it up. It's just like, oh, that one fits.
All I know is I've had enough of this game.
Yeah, I'm not part of this anymore. Don't involve me in these dramas. Yeah. And they seem to go away. The cop couldn't get away from me fast enough as I accused him of aiding and abetting and trying to commit a felony by getting me to state a legal name.
Yeah, they know this.
He was packing up by then. And good thing you got the package, though. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Hang on. Cops already know this now, eh?
Yeah, they do.
They know this. And that's all you got to say. I'm sorry. Bye.
It's got around.
Yeah, then it gets to the point where they won't. Lucifer don't even bother anymore. It's like pointless. I know.
Well,
it's pointless.
Look at the front runners that cleared the way, and more is to come yet. And this fear will be wiped out by, just this happening over and over and over again until, the point comes across. I know my friends are watching really closely.
Well, look.
And this is perfect.
Hey, Steve, look back 3 years ago and look back to yesterday. Okay? Look at the difference between 3 years ago and challenging the Goonies to now simply commanding them. And it's not that you're commanding them to do this or that or the other. It's like, you're in my zone, man. Go away. And that's all this is. Go away. And they do. It's, you don't believe
confirmation that you're done.
Yeah, how confident are you now? A little more confident than what, 3 years ago?
Definitely, but it's not an arrogance. It's
I know that.
The knowing.
Okay, let's carry this fractal through. I want to carry this through. I'm trying to get there. You're not the same 3 years ago as you are now, and the difference is you have a fundamental truth. True or false?
True.
True. Now, look how easy it is for you now, and of course Johnny was talking, and anyone else, how easy it is now just to send them on their merry way. This shit gets out rather quickly. Hey, how'd you do that? Well, this is how. Oh, and then you see this thing. You lure the demon program in with that. It's literally a demon enticement. Hey, I get off the hook here? No, but yes, it's kind of a hard thing to explain here. But what it does is it lures that in. The survival instinct. That's the reptilian brainstem. It's got, I'm in a state of fear and panic and worrying about surviving and this and all this other stuff. That's what you do to lure it in. It sees success. But this is a spiritual conquering, not a physical one. But it plays out in the guise of the physical one because, this is the world of Gaias on Gaias. Guys on guys. You have guys and disguise. That's all it is here. So when you're playing in the mythic reality, what you would deem to be former normal day to day, that's what others will see that are in the day to day. Effectively, it's like this. What you're doing right now, if you can imagine all of Earth being a hospital and you're not a qualified doctor, but you throw on the uniform of one. and you walk through because I'm supposed to be here, and everyone else assumes that too. The only one that assumes that they're not supposed to be somewhere is you. And it's all based on, oh, look, the program construct of this outfit means you can't go in that room. This outfit means it's going to do this, and it's all done through the uniforms. Basically dressing the paper doll, right? Everyone's got the idea that the legal name is the paper doll. Okay, well, those that don't know this yet are still dressing their paper dolls. Are you going to be a fireman, a soldier, a lawyer, a doctor? You see, that's all the clothing they put on their paper doll. We just rip all that off. You see the paper doll for what it is. It's just a paper doll. They couldn't beat their way out of a wet paper bag, let alone a dry one. The game's over. It's done. This is just getting easier and easier and easier and more profoundly simple for people to grasp. It's illegal to use a legal name. It's a very easy thing to prove. It's a perfect catch-22. If the system was going to fuck you, they'd want you to be doing something that you didn't know you were doing for them to fuck you. True or false? True.
True.
Legal name is what they're doing to fuck you without you thinking you're being fucked, because that's your whole survival is on that. So you think by losing it you're going to be fucked, but it's what's fucking in the first place, and you're birthing the dead. Don't be doing that. Was that clear enough? I'm going to grab a coffee. Be right back.
Oh, man.
For being tired, you're doing an excellent job, mate. So I hope I explained my little story well enough. How'd I do?
You did good.
I live in the imagination when I go through things like that. So
just breathe. I get excited with stories too, and you just want to get it out there. It's so beautiful when people share their experiences, and that's how it just is making it easier and easier, right?
Well, it depended on which story I told first, because if I told you about the masks, I would have been racing. So it takes me time to get to speed because I visualize, as I speak or before it's instant, and to make sure that I'm getting the story balanced with the scene that I experienced. And keeping the emotion down to, that you're legible when you explain it.
Yeah.
So this is a new experience, and getting cognitive and to bring it into understanding to share is quite a challenge sometimes, but it's a fun one. So I use several medias, from dream boxes to writings and the mask making now, and so that coordinates things, and then it helps me sort and present and to illustrate that there is a way of creation that can be presented through the arts, and you don't hurt anyone. There's no harm. There's no even thought of harm. That it doesn't even enter into your reality anymore. And that brings the child back to life within and around.
It's just that's the nature of the game right there.
Yeah.
It's about bringing you back to life, and it doesn't take too many of these little whoa moments for you to see the whoa moments. And when you get there, it's yeah. Wow.
And you could put a date on it when it started. And for me, it was the day that I destroyed everything that was connected to in the physical. And I had done it in, my thinking, and I just wanted to follow through. And it was completion then, which there must have been something I was holding on to within that just brought the clarity back and the true witnessing of the child and the innocence of it all, and bringing that back into it is a very healing process, and it has its cries and its laughs internally and externally, and people around you just go, "What the fuck is going on with him?"
Yeah, that's the fun part.
But you don't care. You honestly don't care.
I'm having to dance through life, and hey.
I'm in my wonder right now. I hear music. Anything's happening here that creates a reality that is just blending and knows how to share. There's more words to come yet, but I might have to make another mask to get them out of me. Who knows?
Yeah, it's funny how we
discovery level of how to work from one dimension to bring something into 2 dimension, then to 3, and then to present it gives you a very simple process that you can teach children in a creation process if, the physical is where that expression need to be. So this is just, I'm in wonder of it all, and I believe the possibilities are endless. So you now tap into your sense of immortality and go that route of no doubt. You're immortal. And I love the night you said dopey right after it.
You're immortal, dopey.
It's just so appropriate because there is a sense of humor to all this as well.
Yeah, that's the part that humanity's really taken. There's the dog star again, too seriously, chasing too many bones, digging too many holes, hiding too many bones, right? That's what dogs do. They hide bones and they never go back to them. So what we're doing is digging up all these ribs, Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah, and that really does sum it up. You're immortal, dopey.
Oh, it was perfect. It just caused
hang out
me to laugh and giggle at the one experience that I had going into the dark, the meditation into the dark, and captured myself in suffocation. And in the background there was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. You say that
you're
to
immortal.
yourself a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what
live with it.
I say that to myself, still pretty regular. You're immortal, dopey. Chill. Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, that's good to hear because I'm on the same scale because I want to see the sense of humor in it.
Oh, I tell you, walking this tightrope, it can, you're on it, but that's when the moments come in to say, you're immortal. Just, oh yeah, right. Relax, breathe. Oh, that's what Kate says. Yeah, I say that to me too, right? Breathe, bitch, breathe. That's better. There, see, I take my own advice. I really do.
So that's this unfolding and breathing.
There's my spiritual. I'll give you both legal and spiritual advice here. The only legal advice I will ever give. Watch. The spiritual advice: breathe. Chill. Legal advice: it's illegal to use the legal name. Have nothing to do with them. That's it.
Simple.
The answer to the universe. Breathe, and I don't break the law, okay?
It's really got condensed, hasn't it?
Yeah. Boy, that's a tough one.
Just to get there.
Yeah.
It's been such a fun journey, getting back and forth, and I think I've only been online since May, but it doesn't feel like there was a time that you weren't at this point. You might have been fumbling around in the dark, and before I got to this point about 3 years ago, I was saying to everybody, a lot of people are involved in the, light and the ascended masters. And I said, they said, why aren't you involving yourself in this? And I said, well, I'm a little different. I really want to see in the dark. That's where I think the answers are. You guys are blinded by that light and too many masters up there. So, and I just discovered that most of my friends live in hell, as you compare it. But I'm going to look in the dark.
Yeah, here they are chasing a false light. I brought my own flashlight, thanks. I'll find my own way. I'm good. Because I don't know where you're running with those torches and pitchforks, but I ain't going that direction. I'll go this way.
It's been quite the scene through history, hasn't it? And they just all collapse in on themselves. It is one story, and there are variations that are coming back to us. And I think the humor that's being seen on the Facebook, it's a deep belly laugh some days. I wonder how many of those I can take. A lot.
It is what it is. Don't worry. Bliss and joy, you will learn to get over it.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, since you can't get over the other shit, you might as well not get over it. Yeah, you see? It's such an oxymoronic statement. Yeah. Oh, by the way, take this. Always, when I dole out advice, always take the spiritual advice first. And then the legal advice will make more sense to you. You won't be emailing me back within 5 minutes saying, what the hell is this? Especially when I just told you, go look for yourself before you opinionate. When someone asks or says, what the hell is this? You know there's an opinion attached to it, don't you? And you see that big shit turd ball all at once. What the hell is this? Oh, I'm sorry, did I get your goat? Did I ruin your day telling you the truth? Sorry about that. Here.
A little fun I was having lately is, the tax forms they have at the post office?
No, I
haven't probably been to one for a while, but I know they keep them there, so I was going into them and picking up a bundle at a time and stuffing Babylon as Has Fallen and then returning them back to the trays. So if anybody'd like to use that idea, it's fun. So they get their tax form and they get a biff.
There you go. Why are you paying taxes, you dopey slave?
Are you buying the bowl of
here. Okay, I got another response back on that email. Jesus Lord Thundering. Yeah, Gary Jolly, that's his name. This thing, he was part of a group mailing, so I just replied, oh, fine, I'm going to get the word out. You want to take a shit on my page? How about I hand you some toilet paper? So I wrote, here's what I sent out in typical Katie style. I posted on Facebook. It is illegal to use a legal name, title, etc. The system's catch-22. That's pretty clear, right? Up to this point? Okay. To do so is to commit a felony fraud in instant unclean hands, in case you're wondering why they've been literally getting away with murder. That's pretty clear. Google legal name fraud. That's clear directive, too. These are all nice objectives. Go look before some monkey chatter legal debate fills your programmed by the system to program your mind. Got a bar card? Then what are you doing? Practice law. Best wake up to this fact quickly and stop playing with demons using one of their marks of the beast they saddled you with to play in the commerce horse of Babylon game. So stolen they own your mind if you let them. These monkeys run for the hills on this legal fact. Kate. So twice the same response. WTH is this. I wrote back, truth, go look before you opinionate. Kate. I looked again. What the hell? Why is this type of communication so commonplace with this movement? If just half. I don't know what he was going on to say there. You see what I mean? Boy, you're a quick study. You studied everything we've done over the last whatever number of years in what? Half an hour? Oh, another response to the YouTube. This is on the David Icke one. It's funny. What we got now? Oh yeah, there's a bit of a back and forth going on here. Jesus, yeah, kids fighting kids. It's funny. Just oh man, that's all right. I just find it humorous when you talk about looking for balance in somebody, and then it's just this back and forth. Who can call who a bigger wanker? You know, instead of using that as a tool just to get their attention, to go, it's okay. I was just kidding. Just need to get your attention. Got your attention? Good. That served its purpose. So I figured this is a good way to do it. It's pretty stark and out there, but got you to the table, didn't it? Good. That was my only intention. Now breathe. There you go. And this goes on. It's like back and forth. They never see, the ego doesn't take time to take a breath. It just wants to go, you know. Craziness. Yeah, and I've been on half an hour longer than I was gonna be, guys. Look at you, pricks.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that a while ago.
It's all good. I'll roll out when some food got ordered, so I'll roll out when the food gets here. I'm not sure if I'll shimmy on over to the Jeanette, but who knows, right?
Oh, yeah. Is there a number to catch that?
Sure is. It's 914-803-4058.
Yeah, I love when you guys come in and share your stories. This is what people need to hear. The absolute stand-up moment where they run. Like, think back 3 years ago and that same situation. Yeah, slightly different, tone quality about you now, isn't there? It's a lot calmer,
totally.
Isn't it? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what people need to hear, though. I've seen this for a long time. That's all people need to see. That's all anything I've been talking about, that's all I've been sharing. What actually happened. And why. This was my experience based on my preconceived theory of, wait a minute, this is bullshit because this, and this. So if and it always gets dealt out. And then you find the next level of it. And you just go from there.
When the tow truck driver was coming after you, Steve, I just, in my mind, I envisioned just another brick in the wall, but it was glass.
Yeah.
The invisible wall.
Oh, this guy was huffing and puffing, and it was like there was a clear wall between me and him, and he just stopped. And I do have years of martial arts training, but I was going, nothing's going to happen now. Like, I don't want to do any harm to anyone. He got this, it was just funny watching the animation going on in his face, because being a mask maker, I'm closely aware of, when things are falling apart in a person by their facial reflections. And this guy, he lost it and couldn't figure out what was happening. And he was a tank. This guy was like big, and I just stood there with a half smirk on my face, and I never took my eyes off of him, and I just stood. I realized he couldn't come past a certain point, and it all worked. It was like, nice heads up, universe, thanks. That was cool. But never a moment of doubt. Everything was going to unroll as it needed to. The old truck I was driving, I was questioning the mechanics about it. I check it over and everything else, but the day I took it in to there, it just wasn't running the way she usually does, and seems like everything was timed perfectly.
Yeah.
It's always timed
as it is. You just have to look at it and accept that, this is the way it came out. Not at all to what I expected, but gee, what fun it did. No fear.
Yeah, it's I just got this visual of you guys, both of you today. There's Johnny with 10 bees. Imagine there's Lucifer's. That's the biggest cock they could send out there. And Johnny made it go limp. Wet noodle time. Yeah, biff 'em. Here's the wet noodle of wet noodles. Hey, cop, hate to tell you, but it's illegal to use a legal name, so don't ask. That's illegal, too.
Just pile it on.
Sweet. Yeah. There's another fun way to put it. Hey, it's illegal to use a legal name, copper, and it's also illegal to ask. Have a nice day.
Yeah. And it's after the experiences that you accumulate more ability with this, and it will be fun. My focus is going towards the festivals and just putting the word out everywhere. Every one of my masks will have losethename.com written inside of it. So that's as you hand one out, it provokes a curiosity that something's written in that, along with the signature.
Yeah. The good news about getting those 2 emails back, as ridiculous as they are, here's what I do know. Little kangaroo in there jumping around. It's going to be there for a while, like forever. So I know what it's going to be doing. That's the gnashing and gnashing of teeth and gnawing and gnashing of teeth. That's the inner demon gnawing and gnashing at it, right? Because you just created a hell for it. You lit the fires of hell within. That's what the hellfire is, you. You burn the demons in your own fire. Right, so get really outside the box on this stuff. Get visual. Visualize yourself inside out, from the inside out. It's not difficult. It just requires a little bit of imagination, and you have enough of that left because you're here. I know that. If you didn't have any imagination, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, definitely big-time quality. I can't endorse it enough in the people that I teach math to, or anything else, or even drawing. It just I have so much fun here at the Dysfunctional Cafe.
Yeah.
And I envision everybody at the table here. It's wonderful.
Here's a little motto we can throw around just to show you the seriousness of it. Come on out and listen to a mouthy tranny go off the deep end every night. Yeah, it takes a bit of imagination to go there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, see how big your imagination is? Just in case you were wondering how big it was, it's huge. Boy, because I'll tell you what you couldn't imagine. Same thing I couldn't imagine. This. It's perfect. It's fucking perfect chaos, man. It really is. Oh, yeah, we got a sense of humor, all right. Yeah.
Even that night after I got the ride home, I stopped at the local grocery store, and it was one of those real busy days. And I get in the lineup, and I bump into a guy who I gave a biff to, and he said, since I got a hold of that, my world's gone 180. There was quite a crowd at this one till, and so they could hear us overspeak about it, and I kept on saying, losethename.com. Remember, losethename.com, and people were looking at us, and it's just fun to do that. And as he talked about his experience, people were listening.
Yeah, see, that's when two or more are gathered in my presence thing going on there. Because here's the thing, it's only cool when two people do it. Then everyone pays attention. Remember, it's the one that agrees that solidifies the established agreement. And why I must be and always will be impeccable to the most aware degree that I can be in everything I say, do, and experience. I have a set purpose for everything I do. Follow the heart. It'll never let you down. Follow it home, because that's where you are. Follow your heart home. How do I get home? Well, put one foot in front of the other. Baby step your way back to self. And, it's these little, beautiful little alpha omega moments, standing at the till, having, talked to somebody again that you talked to before. And I love this experience because of the people I bump into that I've told this to, and they're like, they know. They don't ask, do you want points? No, they know. And they also know what to do with the change, too. I don't have to say anything anymore. It's just amazing to watch the lights go on down the aisle, when this other being, obviously known, maybe known or not to whatever degree by others in the checkout, neighborhood thing or whatever, but that is an instant validation to you. The seeds you planted bore fruit, and my life went 180. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's the kangaroo of kangaroos. And that's what you do every time.
He did have a bit of a worried look in his eye.
Uh-huh.
So like, there's a lot there, isn't it? Sort of idea like, and knowledge that you gain also makes you humble to know that there's always more. And that's the unique thing as you move through this, is that you can easily understand that you would never, ever use knowledge to overcome another being, because you would overcome yourself. And you don't do that.
And that's the thing, too. Once the mind is changed on this, once you simply know that it's illegal to use a legal name, that's a fraud ab initio. An intended deceit ab initio. There was no contract there. So here's the other thing, their maxims. I love the way their maxims against them. You cannot be guilty of the same crime twice, double jeopardy. Once you become aware of the crime and know that it's not your willful intent to do something in a crime state, knowing that the original contract was a fraud intent to begin with, carry on with your day. Work on finding yourself. Instead of chasing the almighty brass ring of illusion in the physical meat stick world, follow that brass ring home. And just go about your day if you need to. All this other stuff is just devil in the details. It's a change of mind. That's all it is. And you guys can see this now, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not your intent. It's not your intent to commit crime. It's not your intent to harm. It was intent of the system, dark principality aspect here, to deceive. So there is no contract in that deception. It is over in that moment. And I don't care, like I said, if you're a banker or fucking cop, lawyer, judge, whatever. As soon as you realize this and you go, whoa, wait a minute, and then turn it around, start getting the word out. That's all it takes. Because now at least you're walking in the right direction. And you're not walking in the wrong direction, dragging people with you. Now you're walking in the right direction, and those that see that direction, and it's not they're following you. What they're seeing is you walking in the truth, and the same truth they need to follow. Not you, the truth itself. Follow me. Follow the truth. That's what I follow. What I will describe to you is my path of walking in that truth, as I follow only the truth. Only to the truth. I follow to the truth, and only the truth. Like I keep telling people, leave me out of it. It's got nothing to do with me. I've already got me sorted out. This has got everything to do with you. And this really kills the whole idol thing as well, It's like Luca was saying about the idol. If you're sitting idling, you're not going anywhere. It's time to put the thing into gear and hit pedal to the metal, Yeah, the pedo L to the the meto hell. Yeah. You pedal to the metal this one, kids. Yeah, don't
I see
yeah, go ahead.
I'm going fractal too. I was racing into about deception and people have been deceived so much when you approach them with something that sounds so simple. I've noticed that they're pretty well convinced that there's something attached to it, that that they might be deceived again into.
It's in the consciousness now, Steve. This is the point I'm making, and every one of you. Oh yeah, every one of you that just tweaks another point of consciousness, that's a domino that goes fractal. Some are big, some are tiny, some are huge. I don't care. I'm not picky. I don't have a caste system. If I see it, I take care of it, and that's it.
Even the guy who drove me home said the statement was, "What you say makes total common sense. I'm just having trouble with my belief systems," is basically how I would summarize what he said in that conversation. He said, I just, I'm just having trouble because it's not fitting with what I always thought. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad.
Yeah, well, again, let's take the phonics for, what was it, total, what did you say there? Common sense.
Yes.
It is, here, I'll put it to you, it is total common sense. 2, in the direction of tall, in the direction of the Most High. With my, calm, mon, say, creation infinitely within my creation. Truth. That's what, see, total common sense proves itself, yes. Total common sense is when you're standing in the light of one's own law within one's own self to say, okay, screwed up there, no more. Hey, that was good. We'll keep doing that. How does it work? No trespass. Okay, we're good. Okay, keep it neutral. No contracts. It's basically what you're doing is taking full responsibility for yourself, and at the same time, not only allowing another to take full responsibility for themselves, but insisting on it. And you don't have to be very insistent to do that. It's like, yeah, okay, that's great. Glad that you feel that way, but that's not the way it is. Stay centered on this stuff. And just watch the magic unfurl. Listen, guys, I'm going to roll out here because, if I'm even going to think about popping on the Snip show, I should probably get something to eat.
Oh, go for it.
Well, again, I'm just trying a few things to see if I can cycle myself into a more regular sleep pattern. It just makes it very hard during the day because getting up so late and before show, there's no time really to do anything, to think, get set up, whatever. So it was kind of cool to run right through and get on the show earlier today. So.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was on for a couple of hours. I mean, it's not like I wasn't committed, right? So, hey, I've already done my 3 hours today. Back off, garbage.
We'll catch you on the next wave, mate.
Don't forget. Oh, Rafa. Let's get Rafa in first before I jet out of here.
Hi there. I'm muting. Very quick. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Steve, I wanted to ask him if he's got his masks anywhere to be seen on Facebook or whatever, because I'd love to actually see what they look like.
I'm not very active that way. I do put some things on the discussion group.
Okay.
But, in the discussion group, Kate's discussion group, I posted some...
okay, on Facebook, the discussion group there. Okay, I'll look them up.
Well, they're late ones, so you'd have to go down the page quite a bit.
No problem.
Okay.
And the other thing, I just wanted to thank you for sharing your experience, because I haven't had any of those type of brushes and stuff, but it really helps up building some, ammunition or whatever. I was also...
Well, you know where to stand now. You know exactly where to stand. Do not move from that rock. Ever.
No way. And I just wanted to share that it made me think of these mirror cells. There's some scientists have been researching the fact that when monkeys see something happen, and we are monkeys as well, the same neurons get activated as by doing the thing that we watch doing as the ones that are actually doing it.
That's the hundredth monkey effect,
it's more than that.
It's far beyond that, yes.
Yeah, because the guy is Dr. Popp. It's a German guy who's written something about mirror cells. Don't know if it is foundable in English. I know it's in German, but I haven't found it yet. And this was triggered by some research done in Italy, where they noticed that the monkeys were tested for reaction to eating bananas, and they found out that their same neurons in their brain were activated when one of the guys doing the research walked in eating a banana himself.
Yeah, monkey see, monkey do. Yeah.
And more than that, even without doing, just by brain mirror connection, which I thought, hey, that's interesting, gives another aspect of the mirror thing.
Hugely. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, it's monkey see, monkey do, and that's traveling throughout the entire consciousness. So now you have a better idea of the power you wield by changing your one mind.
Totally.
Yeah, so there's your scientific proof of exactly what we've been talking about in the spiritual. Yeah,
so sharing experiences is what helped me. And then when it hit into reality, it was basically very, very calming for me to have that background and to draw from that sharing. It's all about sharing as I look at this.
That's us just empowering each other. That is, a candle loses nothing by lighting another. It just merely gets brighter. That's what this table is, and why these experiences are so absolutely critical to see this. What you're doing when you do this is you finally take me out of the loop. It's not just Kate saying it. It's not just Kate experiencing it. It's everybody. You got to the table the same way I did. It looks different because I'm kind of running something, a board or whatever, but it's just, I'm here for the same reason you are.
Yeah, it's my sanity. This is a place to play. It is Nerve Central.
Well, this is where we change the entire consciousness of the planet. You know that they told you in the books, you shall move mountains. Yes, you shall. And look, you do. And look at the mountains you guys have moved, and look at the mountains you've helped others see so they can move them too. It's like, hey, Mikey, I ain't going to try it, you try it. I ain't going to try it, you try it. So we're all the Mikeys that tried it. And yeah, life's cereal. Pretty cool, huh? It's a little crunchy at first, but then you get to the fruit and the cream and the honey and, oh yeah.
You're going to make yourself hungry.
Yeah, I am hungry. I'm going to rock here. 7 minutes to go. I love it.
Enjoy.
Anyway, much love. Yeah, much love to you guys, and who knows? I may be there, I may not. I won't know either way. Depends what this meat stick feels like doing.
See when we get there.
All right, much love, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Much love.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.